Evening all, it's TVT, that's tank versus tank. An interesting side effect is coming along from this whole, well, how do we describe this? This new version of tanks, the more arcadey, inverted commas, feeling tanks is laying, I guess, host to some amazing three-dimensional battles, and it's all bloody amazingly good. So I would heartily say this is something really awesome. From the changes. If you're not familiar with what the changes were, what they have done is simplified tanks. So we've lost the enforcers and we've lost, I guess, a lot of the complexity of them. The price has been cut in half and the modules have been simplified. So in essence, my previous gun Logi, I think, was about 800k ISK, whereas now it's 300k ISK, and that's with pretty decent complex modules. So with this change, it's brought about a much more kind of, dare I say, battlefieldy kind of arcadey vehicle use, all in a good way, and I mean this in a positive way, because we actually had a match here. This was an FW match, so there is a friendly fire on, and there were 4 tankers in gang, so we all run a tank squad, and we were going up against another tank squad, which is amazing. So, you know, a cracking bit of luck. And it was probably one of the most kind of more tactical games I think we've played, because I'm following AP here. AP Grasshopper obviously running his Madruga. I'm in my gun Logi, and we're about to sneak up behind another tanker. Now the game is just becoming amazingly fun, because look, we jumped this guy like you would an Eve. You jump somebody at a gate. We jumped him when he was trying to get his kills. Amazing stuff. So heartily recommending this. I think if you haven't tried vehicles, even militia stuff is quite good at the moment. The militia dropships are even not too bad. So, you know, give it a go. I think you'll be surprised actually how good they actually are. I think certainly with the tanks as well, the Seeker and the Gun Logi, when fit almost identically, actually have the same attributes. So there's actually probably no benefit to use the Gun Logi anymore, which is an interesting concept when you think about it. So heartily think this is going to be something amazing, because what was happening in this match, and I've kind of edited it a little bit to show it, was there was an infantry battle going on and there was a tank battle going on. Now all we need is a couple of dropship v dropship people, and then all of a sudden we have our full 3 dimensions of warfare, as mentioned here. So prime example, we are now mustering, because I know there's 2 tanks over there in the distance, and there they are, and our group of 3 tanks is now rushing them. Isn't this amazing? What did this ever happen in Dust 1.6 before? I defy you to prove it, because all of a sudden tanks are a lot more kind of simple and easy access, and they're also a huge amount more fun because they're quick, they're agile, they're aggressive, and they're simple, and they're not indestructible. Anybody who says tanks are invulnerable is a moron, because they are not. They are weaker than they've ever been, and that's a good thing, because quite frankly, you know, I was killing stuff quite happily with my forge gun. It doesn't mean they're weak as in, you know, nerfed. It means that they're weak, and the skill of the pilot is what keeps them alive now. Not just the hit point, not just the fit, it's the skill. Because your shield booster will boost an entire shield in one burst. Your resistance mod is 60%. You know, so literally I'm flying this at the seat of my pants, knowing that when I get hit, I better be hitting those modules at the right point. And I really do think that that is just an amazing step forward from the complexity and the bollocks we had before, which was always a little bit elitist. A lot of people treated tanks as if there was some sort of, you know, kind of inner circle thing, and the reality is that no, every tank is available to anybody, and you'll have fun using it, because even the guys we're facing off against, they're using Seekers. I mean, that's brilliant. So don't let this kind of change, don't let the trolls convince you this is a bad thing, because I think this is the best thing that's ever happened to vehicles, because firstly they're half the price. I'm running a 300k fit. I used to run suits that were that expensive. I ran LAVs that were that expensive. Now I'm running a fully complexed out gun Logi, and I don't mind losing it. So I just lost it there to some guy who bought in an Aurum tank. All power to you, friend, because there is a chance, this is the beauty of the FW, that if I kill your tank, I get it in salvage. So this is why I'm loving this whole thing. We've been just played a few rounds, obviously, with the guys earlier, and we were picking up tanks in salvage, which is amazing. Isn't that brilliant? And we were picking up, quote, Aurum tanks in this. So this is a wonderful step forward. I'm really excited about FW. Everything about FW just makes me smile. I didn't get banned today. I was actually quite careful with the orbitals, and we managed to even get some orbitals working, and it was rather nice. But I would just say vehicles feel as if they've gone back to being a much more kind of accessible, simple, arcadey kind of thing, which is exactly what this kind of game needed. It didn't need the Arma 2 style of nonsense. It needed a very quick, simple, here's a tank, this is how to fit it simply, go. And I think literally this is the best thing that's happened to Dust vehicles for a long time. Happy to debate that. If you think I'm wrong, then message me, because I think, firstly, I think you're wrong. A lot of people, I think, with the elites, let's say, will not like that everybody's now able to get into a railgun seeker and do real damage to any other tank. But that's the fun part of it. Eve, you can have the best fit in the world, but if you can be overwhelmed by other people. They can just outthink you, they can outmaneuver you, whatever it may be. So, I really do think this is a great step forward. Now, look at the salvage I got here. Look at all these Aurum things I'm getting. I've got to admit, FW, ironically, is actually quite profitable, but with a big soon label on it. So eventually, when I'm able to sell these things, this is going to be awesome. So as you can see, I picked up 2 Aurum guns, one complex gun, and so on. So, already it's scoping up to be very nice. We did salvage a tank as well, which was awesome. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I think if you're not playing Dust, or if you're not playing FW yet, you should get in on it, because I think it's definitely worth your investment. So there we go. Interesting stuff. I think 1.7. I can't believe I'm reading the forums and people are telling me that they think it's broken and doesn't work. I just debate that. I think it is a fantastic patch, and other than that bloody Scotty thing, I think it's flawless. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.